Bizarre Brain Comics. Well, hello, my comic book friends and fiends. Haha. And welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time, have a look. I've shown it briefly before the book, but not the story, etc. And I think I did an episode on one of the issues of this. Was Archie's Weird Mysteries, and we're going to focus on just one story in this book. This is trade paperback reprinting. Reprinting some of the stories from the original comic book series. And for those who don't know, well, this book is from 2011, and it's reprinting material from 2000 and 2001. Okay, and it's written by Paul Castiglia, with art by Fernando Ruiz and Rick Kozlowski. Now remember, Fernando Ruiz has a YouTube channel on here, so you can check out his stuff there. And Archie's Weird Mysteries was an animated TV series which ran for one season, or a total of 40 episodes, in 1999 and 2000. And it was a syndicated series, TV series. It just ran for that one season there, but it has run in reruns on various other locations. I remember when this was originally being aired, it was being broadcast on a local independent station on Sunday mornings, except when it wasn't. It was scheduled at a specific time on Sunday mornings, and more often than not, it was preempted by other stuff. I had the same problem at the same time with the same channel trying to watch Babylon 5. Had that same problem because they were constantly preempting it for other programming. So very seldom got to watch it. I remember watching 2 or 3 episodes at the time. I've watched a couple episodes since then, because some of, if not all of that series is available on YouTube for free. And the comic book tie-in comic book ran from 2000 to 2004, so it lasted longer than the original series. And I really liked the comic book because it was, and I liked the show because, well, it's some humorous horror adventure, and it was fun. Okay, and the premise was that weird stuff going on in Riverdale. Archie has a column in the school newspaper about weird stuff, and so he and the gang are constantly getting involved in weird stuff. So that is Archie's Weird Mysteries. And the story we're going to take a look at was, I believe it was serialized story that was backup to the main one and done stories in the issues. So main issues, because the chapters are so short, and they have recaps at the beginning. So what we're going to be looking at here is Archie's Weird Mysteries, and this is the cover of one of them, and that, or splash page, whatever, and is somewhat misleading. Okay. Okay, and here it is, and the title is The Return of Scarlet. So this story is a sequel to one of the episodes of the animated series. And it says, on the outskirts of Riverdale, in a deep, dark, musty cave. It says musky, but it's supposed to be musty cave. There's a legion of vampires, and they're coming up with plans. And they give us some background on, and they want their main objective is to destroy their primary nemesis, which is Dr. Beaumont, who, and they give the background here that he is a descendant of vampires himself, and so he is more powerful, and he's a lot, in some ways, kind of like Doctor Strange. He has some magical capabilities, and so what they're going to do is to get to him, they're going to snag his friend Archie as bait, and to get Archie, they need Scarlet. And Scarlet was a half vampire from an episode who sacrificed herself to destroy a vampire menace at the time and save everyone in Riverdale. So they are going to conjure up a way to resurrect her, but only the bad vampire-y side. And they give a little bit of background here. And then off they are to Dr. Beaumont's costume shop. And they're having a little costume fashion show with and Archie's there, bug-eyed and his tongue lolling out, with comments about that from Jughead. Veronica as Xena, Betty as Jeannie from I Dream of Jeannie, and then a generic girl as a generic superheroine. And then suddenly, well, Scarlet! It's a Scarlet costume. No, I am Scarlet. And she's right there, and she is coming after them. And then we get a little background here. It says that she has been trying, because the vampires were unable to locate this magically concealed costume shop. So they get Scarlet in disguise, and she follows the gang to that location. But there's Beaumont zaps at her, and then puts a protective shield around himself and everyone else. And she says, well, has the power of making this force field around the entire town, so you'll be trapped and can't get out and stuff like that. So then they go on with their life for the time being. And meanwhile, Scarlet goes elsewhere and disguises herself, covering up her white skin with sunblock, and because she has more resistance to the sun. She's kind of a daywalker, and covers up her black lipstick and covers up her freckles. Puts on a neon pink wig. Meanwhile, there are a bunch of tunnels and little hidey holes from under the town of Riverdale, which was used in basically the Underground Railroad. They don't mention that though, but and so they go. That's where they hide Dr. Beaumont, and the kids are right there at school. Oh, who's this new girl? And Archie is hot over, but Reggie has already kind of called dibs, but she says, I'll look you up if he loses the case. Ooh, and kind of angers Reggie. They're on a date. Meanwhile, the other gang are in the little hidey hole to help protect Dr. Beaumont, and Reggie they're not supposed to tell anybody about the hidey hole, but he figures it's a good place to bring a date, and so he's starting to go there, takes to the hidden entrance, and then he realizes, as long as no one finds us, he starts to get a spark of conscience, and that's when Scarlet basically reveals herself and forces Reggie into the hidey hole. Then he grabs a full length. While she's about to go after Dr. Beaumont, he distracts her with a mirror, not realizing that isn't visible in the mirror, but it does distract her, and everyone else takes off. Meanwhile, she had already sent a tracking signal to the Vampire Legion, and they are on their way. But then something has happened to Scarlet, and she goes, what's going on? She says, why do I feel like I've done something horribly wrong? Well, because she has. But she quickly kind of recovers herself when she's confronted with the Legion. She said, I think they've gone this way. But then she runs off. Now they're chasing her. Well, instead of chasing the teens who are in a warren, this warren of tunnels under there. So she distracts them with canned foods and stuff, and down in the hidey hole. And they've tried to find a place to rest and kind of hide. But Scarlet finds them and goes, "Uh-oh!" But she says, "Something happened when there was and we find out that before she had been semi-vampire, and another villain had turned her mortal, and which made her old, and that's when she sacrificed herself. But now she's back. She saw it. She actually saw part of herself in the reflection. So she realized that she is part mortal, and says, "Okay, it's easy, but I can." She's planning to sacrifice herself to stop these vampires and save the kids and Dr. Beaumont. And so there's someplace, there's solar power there, so there's daylight's coming up, and they can never get the vamps out in daylight, but there's someplace where the sunlight shines for the solar panels. So she's running around to find it, and she finds it. Gets a little singed there. Then she leads all the Vampire Legion right into the sunbeams, destroying them all. And in the process, Scarlet is rejuvenated and returned to 100% mortal, and she is alive. Oh, great deal. It says, according to lore, vampires who turn good twice stay that way. Well, that's not quite right, but they made it up for the story. It's okay. But here, so then all's well that ends well. Scarlet again saved Riverdale and the Riverdale gang. And then right here at the bottom, it has, if you want to see more Scarlet stories, write and ask for them. And apparently they didn't get enough response to warrant Scarlet tales. But then they have a backup, Scarlet's Guide to Fighting Vampires, and it's some humorous little things, some of which there's entirely made up. But it's fun stuff, and that is all I was wanting to share this time with Archie's Weird Mysteries. And I want to thank you for joining me. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the cartoon. This is the kind of Archie stuff that I really like. Some their humor characters, in an adventure setting, sometimes in a horror setting, and just having these fun adventures. Of course, I like the regular Archie stuff as well, but I do like that, and I wish there were more. I'd like to get my hands on more of Archie's Weird Mysteries. So, again, thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Do you remember ever seeing any of the animated series of Archie's Weird Mysteries, or any of the comic books? And if so, what you thought of all that stuff? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.